And if you're seeing this video, I truly don't think it's by accident. I felt like God wanted you to be here. And as I'm speaking to you, I'm also speaking to myself. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Jen, and this space is all about faith, lifestyle, and becoming the best version of ourselves. I used to think waiting meant God forgot me. Like, if it was taking this long, maybe it wasn't meant for me. But I'm learning something completely different. Sometimes the waiting is the blessing. Not because it feels good, but because it keeps you from rushing into things that you were not meant to rush. And I have been carrying this quietly, not in a dramatic way, but in a realistic way. Because this season, growth feels slower than I expected, quieter than I expected, and honestly heavier than I would like to admit. And for a long time, I thought if God was really changing me, I would feel it. I would feel it by now. I would feel it all the time. That the healing would be obvious and choosing better would make everything better and fall into place fast. And that old feelings wouldn't resurface. But that has not been my experience. And that is when quiet shame shows up. The kind that says you should be further along by now. But God has been correcting that. He's been correcting that. Slow progress does not mean no progress. Discomfort does not mean disobedience. And just because your growth isn't allowed doesn't mean God has stopped working. Philippians 1:6 keeps following me. He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. Not rush it. Not abandon it halfway, but complete it. And I had to sit with that because I realized something with myself. I was measuring my faith by speed instead of sincerity. I rushed healing. I rushed readiness. I rushed forgiveness. I've rushed letting go. I've rushed becoming her. Not out of rebellion, but out of eagerness and hope. Out of wanting things to happen sooner because I believe they would eventually happen. And I want to be clear about this part. I'm just very hopeful. But hope still needs direction. I've rushed some season trying to prove that I was ready for seasons my character was not ready to hold. And that was not a lack of faith. If anything, it showed me where my faith needed maturity. Because wanting something doesn't mean you are prepared for everything that comes with it. And let's be real. How many times have we prayed, God, your will be done, but still try to micromanage him? Like, okay, God, your will, but tell me when and how and through who, right? I've been there. Over time, I've learned that God isn't slow. He's thorough. Waiting has been doing real work in me, teaching me restraint, sharpening my discernment, showing me the difference between desires and alignment. There are things that I genuinely hoped for, good things, that simply weren't for me. And realizing that does not weaken my faith, it strengthens it. Because now I don't force situations. I respect timing. I don't chase outcome. I focus on becoming stable enough to sustain what I'm asking God for. Some heartbreaks doesn't even come from disrespect, but they come from expectations, from beliefs, believing that something might grow and then realizing that it couldn't. And those heartbreaks are quiet but heavy. They teach you boundaries. They teach you restraint. They teach you patience. They teach you that God can close something gently and it can still hurt. That doesn't mean you're backwards. It just means you're honest. And that is where I am. That is where I am right now. I'm not stuck and I'm not confused. I'm just being shaped between being who I used to be and who I'm becoming. Choosing differently, even when it costs me emotionally. Trusting God, even when the fruit isn't visible yet. And this is the part where people don't talk about it enough. Transformation isn't always dramatic. It often looks quiet. It looks like choosing differently without needing credit. Sitting with discomfort instead of running. Walking away instead of explaining. Silence instead of explaining. Releasing what you used to chase. That is not stagnation. That is growth. Faith isn't proven by how fast things happen. It's revealed by how you move while you are waiting. Are you patient? Are you consistent? Can you trust God without constantly questioning His pace? Here's something I don't struggle believing anymore. You don't have to be perfect for God to use you. And if perfection was required, none of us would be qualified. God works with real people, aware people, willing people, people who are healing in real time, people who are learning how to trust without control. So if you're in a season where the glow up is internal and the blessings feel subtle, ask yourself this gently. Where am I pressuring myself to move faster instead of being faithful? Because faithfulness looks like consistency, obedience in private, choosing peace when no one is watching, trusting God's timing, not just His outcome. And here is the real life advice I am living by right now. You don't have to rush who you're becoming. You don't have to prove your worth or your growth. You don't have to force door God is already closing. Okay? And you don't have to pretend the progress does not hurt. God didn't start this work in you just to abandon it midway. You are allowed to be unfinished and still faithful. You are allowed to grieve old version of yourself while honoring the new one that is forming. And if you're here, still standing, still choosing differently, choosing to trust even quietly, He is finishing the work. He is not late and He's not doing it in a rush. He is right on time.